3 people.
Okay. Well, some are finding their way over to YouTube. All right, lining up for game 1 of a doubleheader weekend here at Cape Breton University as we face the Blizzards. That's Ryan Whitehead on center, and she was just past the puck from Isla Eddy, who got it to Parrott. Eddy take it over to the corner. Passed it over to Parrott. And where Gwen and Kira also touched it. Whitehead with it in the neutral zone. Drops back to Gwyneth. Gwyneth takes the first shot of the game, goes wide. Isla Parrott collecting. Blizzard with possession now in their zone. They pass it out, gets it in the neutral zone, where Kira's going to collect it in our zone, and our forwards are going for a change as Kaylee's out. That's Munden up on the left. She takes a shot. Good battle at the boards there with them and Kaylee. Natalie there on the boards behind, as she's now battling with them, and Kaylee hoping to see the pass come out to the middle for her. Sophie guarding the blue line here, and Andre Ann on the far side. Sophie stepping into that, sends it up high, and Kaylee collecting it with a high stick. Whoops, sorry. So they'll all go for a 5-player change, and the face-off comes into the neutral zone. It's Molly taking the face-off with Brooklyn and Sawyer. Noelle and Paige on deep. Bailey's behind the posts for us today. That should be an icing, yep, and we'll see it come back in the offensive zone. No changes as they all have fresh legs. And Molly's going to take the face off. That gets pushed forward. Cape Breton getting possession. As Paige put a body in between the Cape Breton player, drove it in low. So Noelle's able to get it up to Sawyer to clear our zone. Molly collects from the battle here at the center line, with Sawyer collecting it. Sending it out front. Brooklyn Knight quite catching that pass, so she goes hard on the other side. Molly rimming it around. Brooklyn and Molly go off, and Sawyer stays on the short side with the battle as Cape Breton's clearing it out to the neutral zone. Isla Parrott coming out, pushing it into the zone for Ryan to collect. Cape Breton was on a change. They watched very carefully and were just good on the not too many men by the looks of it. But we're in the offensive zone here as Gwyneth has it on her stick, tries the wraparound, gets it out front. Ryan was a little too close to the net and couldn't get her stick on that. So Cape Breton taking it into the neutral zone as Isla collects, sending it up with a nice pass to Gwyneth, who chips it around for herself. She sends it out to the middle where Ryan was. Cape Breton getting possession of that and getting it into our defensive zone where we have Carver with it, taking behind the net. We have another forward change as Vandemar, Munden, and DeBay are out. Carver was looking for the pass. She takes it to M. Intercepted by a Blizzard player before it got to Munden. So Carver driving it behind the net to Vandemar. Chips it up to DeBay, who chips it around, trying to get it to herself. ends up being a battle. Gallant keeping it from coming into the defensive zone. She takes it in, but chipped out quickly by their defense player. That's Sophie O'Connell behind our net. She sees some traffic and decides to, I thought, go the other way, but then she gets it up to Vandemar. Attempt of a shot from the point, but we blocked it. Didn't block the second shot, and Bailey's stopping that one. We'll see all 5 players go out for a change, and we'll see a face-off to Bailey's left. Molly's taking this face-off with Brooklyn and Sawyer, Noelle, and Paige. Goes in behind for Paige to collect, but she gets tangled up with a player, so Brooklyn's battling with a different player. Gets sent in behind for Noelle where she sees more space, gets it up to Sawyer, taps it out with her skate, I think, into the middle where Molly was able to push it over to the side where Brooklyn was. Molly then drives it in deep where they could find some space as they were kind of all collected up there in a bunch. So now they've spread out a bit better. It does come out of the zone, so Paige is buying some time, got herself the space that she saw with Sawyer being there. Sawyer's behind the net, and as she waits for the other forwards to make the change, that's Ryan there in the corner. Sawyer's now going to go off as we see Isla and Ryan with it. And Gwyneth coming in to meet the puck as it enters the defensive zone. And somebody has got a chirping penalty. And I was watching the puck, so I missed that. But it looks like, was it? Okay, I missed that, but I just wasn't watching it. Here's Ryan going in. So Metro West going on our first penalty kill of the game. Gwyneth going to take the face-off with Isla Parrott. Isla Eddy and Kira Carver on D. And Bailey ready, at the ready. Ref didn't like how they were standing, so Isla Parrott taking that face off. Kate Breton having it there at the point. Gwyneth getting control of it. Chips it around. Tried to get it to herself, but they got in her way. And that might be an interference. Yes. So when they got in her way, they did it a little too aggressively. Because you can't pick in hockey. Nope. All right. So now I have a 4-on-4 situation for 1:41. As DeBay takes the face off with Vandemar to her right. Carver and Eddy on D. Carver stepping in for that as DeBay supports at the blue line. Isla Eddy trying to create some space on this 4-on-4 situation. There's no man advantage. Blizzard was hard on that and able to get a shot off and bring it back into our zone. .115 left on the 4-on-4 before we go out for a 19-second man advantage. Blizzard winning that face-off. And they scored from the point. They're on the board first in this 4-on-4. We're going to continue 4-on-4 for 1:09. Because Ryan's coming out. I didn't think she's going to be allowed to come out. Nope. Her father's sending her back. On a 4-on-4, you have to stay in the box because there was no advantage. Her father, the coach, in case you don't know, guys. All right, Sawyer taking this face off. Brooklyn to her right. Sophie stepping up on the line. Oh, the timekeeper took it away, Buzz. Because she saw her leave, but no. It's 19 seconds, people. 19 was the difference. So it should be 128 minus 19 left. There you go. Let's see if they got it right. I mean, she's got it on paper. She should be writing down the times. They gave it at 109, so we're short 2 seconds on the man advantage. But honestly, the confusion was from our player, so can't complain too much or they'll give us a delayed game. So, although it was the timekeeper that kind of messed that one up, too. Either way, here we are still in a 4-on-4. Sophie taking it up to Brooklyn. Gets by her stick, so Blizzard collecting it in the neutral zone. Going a little further into their zone, so we put some pressure on. Brooklyn with the block. But Cape Breton with the turnover again. They take it in. Sophie with the block. She's going to pass it up to Sawyer. She's got both D on her as the rest of our players go for a change as we see Paige and Noelle come back out along with Gwyneth. Ah, shoot, that was so close to the line, but they called an offside on that one, so we'll see a face-off in the neutral zone here. And Isla Parrott coming out to join Gwyneth, who's going to take the face-off. Paige turning it around, getting it up to Gwen. She goes up all along the boards. Parrott going up with her. Gets the nice pass out front. Not able to get a solid shot off, so the goalie tapped that away. But it comes back to Paige at the point. Blocked by the shin pads of the Blizzard player. Comes back to Noelle. She's going to skate behind the net. We've got an 8-second power play now as Ryan came out of the box. And we are now even. So our D drives it in deep behind the net to get a change. As Isla and Ryan are out along with Kaylee now. Kira and Isla Eddy. Kira with it. Taking it to the boards where Munden was. Blizzard bringing it out. Isla was there. Natalie up to Kaylee. Vandemar and Kaylee trying hard to get that puck back. Blizzard with it in the neutral zone. They're going to drive it in deep into our end. Where Isla taps it out from behind our net up to Kaylee on the boards. They both go down. So both Kira went in and then she retreated as Isla and Natalie came up. That went right to a Blizzard player, but she stopped the shot. They take it in deep. Some Blizzard players are going for a change now, so there's a bit more space as Kira's looking for a player to pass to. Kaylee's at the boards, but the Blizzard are there too. Isla pushes it out into the middle as 4 of our girls go for a change. Sophie collecting that one that went off the skate of a Blizzard player. Isla bringing it in, and she's offside by Brooklyn, I guess. It's another close call at the blue line. 5:51 left in the first, and Metro West is trailing by a point. Molly taking that face off. There's a battle at the dot. Andre Ann getting it up to Brooklyn. It brings it into the offensive zone. She faces some traffic. In behind the net. Brooklyn coming up behind, but they offload it first. Andre Ann keeping it in. Brooklyn and Molly, they're battling hard at the boards. So it goes the other side. Gets under the stick of 2 players, so icing will be waived as Andreanne collects in our end, passes it up to Isla Parrott. It's going for a bit of a skate, but as Cape Breton was hard on the back check, she had to offload it in behind the net, where Cape Breton does have possession. Gwyneth intercepting that and taking it in deep. Page then again, making sure it stays in this end, taking it in behind the boards for Isla Parrott. Ryan having to come in and support as the player gets tied up. She tried to take it to Noelle on the blue line, but Cape Breton intercepting first. Now Cape Breton's D have possession. Noelle with the pass in the neutral zone to Paige, who gets it up to Gwyneth. She goes in. She's got some Cape Breton players on her toes, but she took a shot hoping there'd be a drop for a rebound, but the goalie hung on to it. So we'll see a face-off here in the offensive zone on the short side here, with Natalie taking the face-off. Isla pinching in at the corner. Kaylee getting tangled up behind the net. Natalie comes out around the other side. Gets back to Kira, gets behind her and sent deep, but with all the snow, they both go down as they're tangled up. It's now behind our net. Vandemar here with a bit of pressure behind her, so she's got a little bit of time, but not a lot. She gets it into the neutral zone. Natalie driving it into the offensive zone. Blizzard has it. She's hard there trying to get it back. Kaylee sent it behind. Brooklyn has it now in the other corner. Kaylee and Natalie going off for a change. So Cape Breton brings it into the neutral zone. And that'll be an icing because it gets sent down into our zone just this side of the red line. 3:06 left as we still trail 0-1 against Cape Breton. Molly taking this face off with Sawyer and Brooklyn. Sophie and Andreanne on D. A lot of traffic here in front of the net. Metro West not able to get a solid shot off before it comes into the neutral zone. Andreanne to collect, facing pressure on that side. She sends it up to the near the player's bench to Brooklyn. Molly got her skate on it, taps it back to Sophie, who drives it behind the net up the boards to Sawyer. Now we get a 2-on-2 battle here as Molly comes in to support as the third in case it comes free. It's in between their feet. There it goes into the neutral zone, so they have to get on side before sending it in deep. They all go for a change, as well as half of our girls. So Sophie going for a skate as she saw some space there, but this Cape Breton team hard on the back check, not getting much of our girls the space that they were hoping for as they come back into our zone. Good stick from Noelle sends it off to the side for Ryan and Gwyneth to battle, but Cape Breton getting it in deep. We're there behind our net, looking to set something up. They send it out to their point. They get a shot off. Bailey able to tuck that into her pads with the save. And the face-off now goes to her right. We'll have Ryan take this face-off. She wins that face-off back to Paige. She sends it over to Noelle, taps it up to Gwyneth. She gets it out to the middle where Ryan was, goes a little further, so Isla and Ryan are over battling with the Cape Breton players. And they were able to collect and send it into the neutral zone, but Noelle getting it when it's in our end. Now Ryan has it behind the net, sends it up to Isla Parrott. She chips it up, but the Cape Breton player at the point sends it in deep. And Paige tapping it over to Noelle, who has less pressure than she had, but they follow quickly. As that Cape Breton team is hard on the back, on the forecheck, and they're trying to get it back. They're in the neutral zone. Trying to get possession. It's going back and forth. And there's a lot of play in this neutral zone there for the last few seconds. Okay, now we have a pass up to Kaylee, who's got a bit of a rush with pressure. And she drew a penalty. There must have been a hook or something that the ref didn't like. Slipped by Isla on the blue line. So we have to start again, entering the zone. They never really had control there, but okay. We have the penalty called with 8 seconds to go. She doesn't understand because it was so long ago. Also, Kaylee never fell down, but... All right. As we go on the power play here, we have Natalie lining up the face-off with Kaylee and M for a quick chance at a shot, but we got to offload that, and it was blocked. All right. So in the first intermission, we have a trail of 0-1 and 1:52 left on our power play when we come back into the second period. All right, Molly taking that face off, Cape Breton getting it in. It went under Kira's stick, so they're waving the icing on that as Isla collects it in the corner. Molly up to Sawyer. She goes wide. Brooklyn's in the slot. Pass didn't come to her stick, but Isla collecting it from the bank off the boards. And the Blizzard iced it. That was icing. Okay. Oh, they're allowed. They're on a... Right, we're on a power play. Duh. I quickly forgot. Ooh. That's going to be offside. But a bit of a collision at the blue line. It just didn't look like a power play, but that's why. I'm going to blame that. They're going to find their formation, make some plays. So we have Ryan here taking this face off. Blizzard getting that. So they send it deep into our zone. Gets passed up. Gwyneth going for a skate. She takes it to Sophie at the point. Now this is the power play setup I was looking for. It does get tapped into the neutral zone, so we have to set up again. Ryan's heading in deep. They gotta be hard to get that back. Andrea pinching in. Gwyneth there with it in the corner, trying to buy some time. She gets it to Ryan, it was out front. Cape Breton still able to get it iced away from our stick as we have 12 seconds left on this power play. Sophie looking for the pass. She passes it up to a Cape Breton player who was in front of Isla Parrott, who was, I think, hoping for the stretch pass. Andrea with the pass out to the middle where Kaylee is. She passes it up to M. Bit of a bouncy puck, so it still stays in our end between M and Natalie keeping that in. M with the pass over to Kaylee. Great attempt at the pass out front. Natalie chipping it up to Kaylee. M ensuring it's not going to be knocked out by Cape Breton as we have a battle at the boards there. Freed out onto M's stick. Can she get a shot? Oh, she sent it to the middle where Natalie steps in but didn't get to it before Cape Breton sends it to the neutral zone. Page over to Noelle. Noelle's got her head up looking for the pass. She sends it up to where Natalie is. She was able to bring it into the zone. Under pressure, she's trying to send it out front where Kaylee and M were. Kaylee collects it here. She turns around. But Cape Breton's able to maintain it on their stick. Their pass goes wide, so Noelle's able to collect it in our end. Facing pressure on both sides. She does get it by the Cape Breton player, where they keep it in at the boards. Pass out to the middle. It does get into neutral zone. Brought back in where Noelle's able to take it out, but back onto Cape Breton, and lots of turnovers here at the start of the second period too. Gets past Cape Breton there, but the other D is back supporting them as Sawyer puts the pressure on. So they have to offload it to the other board, where Brooklyn has it, chipping it over behind the bench, behind the net, I mean. Kira intercepting that attempt at a breakout into the neutral zone. And she takes a shot where the goalie's going to hold on to it. As both teams go for a change, we'll get a face-off in the offensive zone. Ryan taking this face-off with Isla Parrott and Gwyneth on her wings. Here Carver and Isla Eddy backing them up as Gwyneth comes into the corner, tapping it over to Isla. Eddy is trying to chip it free. Ryan finds that space, stretch pass up to Gwyneth, chips into the neutral zone. And a good attack on the puck brings it deep into their end. Seeing some hunger here now, which is good to see, as our team is working hard on the forecheck and trying to keep it in this end so we can get some shots. It's stuck behind the net, and they're going to freeze that for face-off. There is a bit of that hunger we've been looking for. Let's hope that that demonstrates a shift in momentum here. All right, Natalie taking this face-off with them and Kaylee. Getting it up to Kaylee behind the net. She finds a bank shot to Andrea, who takes it over to Sophie. She's going to drive it up to the net where M was, but Cape Breton getting possession. Natalie trying to tame the puck. It bounced off her skate into the neutral zone. It goes deeper into our zone. Sophie chipping it up to M. Andrea with it. She's going behind her net. Up to the neutral zone, where they send it back in. Sophie to the other side. Andrea back to Sophie. Up to M. She chips it up. Again, right to their D, right in the neutral zone. So we're breaking it out, but then not able to take it any further into the offensive zone. Cape Breton's really blocking those turnovers there at the neutral zone. And now we're stuck in our end a little bit. As it gets sent out front, but it stuck between the legs of the Cape Breton player. They couldn't see it, but another player came in, saw that, got a shot off for Bailey to save. Gets sent to the blue line. She takes a shot, blocked by Andréane and sent wide. All right, Kaylee going for a bit of a skate here. Didn't get far before she met some traffic. Cape Breton on a change. But they're coming. Natalie gets that into the neutral zone where Kaylee meets them. And they're still stuck in the end. These girls need a change. Shift change. So Paige was able to make a change with Noelle, but otherwise these have been the same five there for a bit. Cape Breton keeping that in at the blue line. That bank shot saved at the blue line. This time the shot goes out to M. She's going to go for a skate. She gets it up to Natalie. Natalie gets a shot, goes wide. She's all alone as they go for a change that is much needed. Now Sawyer collecting that before intercepted yet again by Cape Breton as they go for a change. Noelle up to Brooklyn, gets it up to Sawyer. She chips it around, trying to get it to herself, but Cape Breton's very good at not allowing that to happen. Getting that interception call there once, but otherwise really getting in our way. Puck's frozen in the corner, so we'll see a face-off in the offensive zone. With 6:50 left in the second period, and we're still trailing by that 1 point that came in from the blue line. Molly taking the face-off with Brooklyn, Sawyer, Paige, and Noelle. Good pass up to Brooklyn behind the net. Brooklyn collecting that back. She's feeding some traffic, so she's hoping that Sawyer will come in behind the net. It gets freed up back to Brooklyn. Goes over to the other wall where Sawyer is. Onto Sawyer's stick. Gets in the feet of the Cape Breton player, and Molly's really trying hard to get it. So she tangles that player up, and Sawyer taps it behind the net. Excuse me, Brooklyn collecting. Went the other way because Cape Breton saw that Molly was in supporting on the other side. So they got some space there. It's still in the end as our players are trying real hard to keep it in, but there it is in the neutral zone. And there'll be a penalty. I mean, they're calling it at the blue line, but it might have gone out and then in. Yeah, it's just an offside. Okay, Ryan's out with Parrott and LeBlanc. Eddie and Carver. Must be an intentional offside, so they're bringing it into our end, into our offensive ends. Ryan getting that back to Kira, takes it to Isla. Blocked by the shin pads of a Blizzard player, gets it into our end. and not cleared out, so they're able to get a shot. This time blocked by Eddie. And Pear blocks the second attempt of a shot. Good stick by Bailey, sending it to the side where Isla is. She's trying to chip it up to Whitehead, but she was facing some traffic from Cape Breton. This time we're getting some tape on tape here. Nice to see as that went from Gwyneth and then Ryan driving it in deep so that they can go for a change. Isla Parrott going to keep that pressure on in the offensive zone. Kaylee coming out with Natalie. Kaylee intercepting that one in the neutral zone, chipping it around. Sophie with a nice stretch pass up to Kaylee. She brings it in, kicks it in deep. Goes after her own with Em supporting. Natalie staying in the middle, hopefully looking for it to come out. Cape Breton coming out, so she goes to the other side. Cape Breton, but that'll be a waved icing because it was intercepted by our player as it was chipped in deep as they tried to intercept. Another nice stretch pass up to Kaylee. She has to chip it, and they're going off for a change. Paige collecting it there behind our net, sending it over to Noelle. As we now have Brooklyn, Molly, and Sawyer's line. That's Sawyer on the far wall. Molly sending it in deep, and Sawyer going hard to try and get possession back. That's Sawyer and Molly there. As Cape Breton frees it up, and it goes into the neutral zone. Noelle getting it up to Sawyer. She sees some traffic, so she's trying to get a shot off. Goes into the goalie's crease, so she covers it. Defense make a change as Carver and Eddie come out, and the forwards are going to stay out. That goes off to the side. Brooklyn stepping in and getting to it first. Oh, good try at the tip as Isla Eddie gets it up to Sawyer Malloy. And Sawyer trying to deflect that toward the net, but it bounced the wrong way. So instead of going over the goalie's shoulder, it goes into her glove. Now we'll see Ryan take the face-off with Parrott and LeBlanc. Eddie and Carver staying out on D. That should be icing. They wave it off for some reason. It must have hit us somehow. Eddie chips it up. Okay, Carver driving that in deep. Parrott goes to the other side. She frees it up to the middle. Cape Breton chipping it behind the net. Carver again sending it in. Cape Breton collecting it more in the middle of their zone, so it goes off to the other board in the neutral zone. Eddie seeing some space as we get some changes, but because of those changes, it puts us offside. It'll allow us the rest of a clean change and a face-off just outside the zone in the neutral zone. All right, Cape Breton winning that face-off. And that should be another icing. So it's going deeper in the end now. As Natalie, Em, and Kaylee are going to take the face-off for the forwards as Sophie and Andrea-Ann coming in for D. Natalie winning that back. Sophie stepping in. So does Cape Breton, and it gets freed into the neutral zone. Great save by Bailey as they had a nice 2-on-1 situation there, and Bailey's able to cover that puck and make that save, not allowing any shots to go in. All right, I see 5 girls coming out, so we'll see a full change again. And Bailey's there with an equipment adjustment as she's fixing something on her helmet. Molly's coming out along with Sawyer and Brooklyn. Noelle and Paige on D. And Bailey's at the ready. Puck got frozen on the dot, so Noelle pinched in and collected that. She's trying to send it up to Brooklyn. Facing a bit of traffic, it gets sent back to Noelle. She sees more space by Paige. Shot sent wide by Bailey. Goes around for Noelle. Cape Breton with control here in this end. As Noelle tried to free it up, but Cape Breton's hard on the forecheck in our end. And they don't give up easy, and they get possession back, making it hard for us to break out. Okay, we're able to break out with Noelle with it on her stick. She sends it in deep and looks for change. Brooklyn and Sawyer stay out as Cape Bretons bring it back. Kira stepping in, sending that out, but they block it at the blue line. All right, Ryan now with the skate in the neutral zone and offside. These offsides are like by hairs.
People running are really shaking the camera.
Yeah, they are. All right, Isla with it, sends it up to LeBlanc, but that is offside. No doubt there. So, redo. Okay, Gwyneth there with it, over to Isla, nice shot, it's dropped. Cape Breton got to the rebound first. Gwyneth and Ryan there battling in the corner. Ryan stays on her feet, but that's the end of the period. Whew, and we still trail by a point. We're going back to the dressing room. Let's see if... Oh, you're fine. It's okay. All right, Ryan, Gwyneth, Sawyer. No, it is a 17, because I was like, huh, she's not on that line. It's Isla Parrott, along with Isla Eddy and Kira Carver with a starting third period lineup as Metro West trails 0-1 after that shot from the point in the first period by Cape Breton Blizzard. Comes into the neutral zone. Kira tapping that over to Isla Parrott, who takes it up where Ryan is. Gwyneth trying to clear the zone. Gets past her and Gwyneth. Back to Kira. Sends it to Isla. She's looking behind her net. She gets it up to Gwyneth, but it gets out of her skate, and that, or out of the way of her stick, and that's an icing. Oh, a little shoot. Haven't heard this song in a while. Some good tunes here at Cape Breton University. Oh, it's not Shoop, it's What a Man. Either way, same era. Yeah. All right. So, Natalie takes it over. Blocked by M. Bounce back. Natalie takes it in the neutral zone. Kaylee's up, looking for a pass. She chips it in deep. Kaylee goes for it behind the net. Goes over the other side. Only a Cape Breton player there. M keeping that in. Well done. As it then again gets knocked into the neutral zone. Kaylee there on the boards. And Sophie collecting it at the corner in our end. It's rimmed around where M is. Cape Breton tapping it up to their point, who gets it behind the net where Sophie is. She frees it up. Passed over to Natalie. Intercepted by Blizzard. Sophie going for skate. Again, trying to tap it up to Kaylee. It was both an icing and a slashing penalty as they slashed Kaylee's stick out of her hand. And I believe that'll trump it, and we should have the face-off in the offensive zone as Cape Breton's going into the box. All right, they're making a plan as Molly heads to the circle for the face-off. Brooklyn and Sawyer on her wings. And Noelle and Paige on for D. Because of the icing, I think they're going to bring it into the neutral zone because they both kind of cancel each other out, I guess. Gets pushed into the offensive zone. Noelle keeping it in. Taps it up to Brooklyn. Goes behind the net, where Brooklyn then again collects it as Molly held up that Cape Breton player. She sent it out front. I don't know why they called it, because it was a loose puck, but we're going to have a face-off. That was weak. All right, Molly with the face-off here. Gets tapped back to Cape Breton. They rim it around where Noelle collects. And Cape Breton icing that one. Page up to Sawyer. She goes for a skate. She brings it in. She's got 3 girls on her. She still takes the shot. We're on the power play for another minute 9. Iced again by Cape Breton. Both teams going for a change. Cape Breton again hard on that forecheck as they're on the penalty kill. And they're playing quite offensively here as they get to the puck first. Noelle not letting her have it easily though, as Ryan passes it out front. Cape Breton keeping it in, driving it deep for Noelle to collect again. Chips it over to Paige. She got it over the stick of the Cape Breton player where Gwyneth was waiting, and Isla puts her offside just by a step. 21 seconds left on this power play. Ryan taking the face off. And it goes into the neutral zone here, just on our side. Ryan winning it back to Kira. Kira chipping it up to Gwyneth, who frees it out into their zone, but Cape Breton has their stick on it first. And we're going to go on a roughing penalty or something there. A boarding. Okay. As Ryan goes into the box, where we'll have 4-on-4 for 6 seconds, and then we go on the penalty kill for the minute 54. 16:08 left in the third period, as the third period is that 20-minute period. Natalie and Em coming out for this 4-on-4. Noelle and Paige, no, that's Kira and Isla staying out. They're yelling ice. Kira's not going to ice it. It was 4-on-4. Now we can ice it. But she's going to go for a skate instead. Em sending it deep. Cape Breton skating it into our zone. Getting driven out. So they have to reset into the neutral zone. Isla sending it across. Isla collecting it behind the net. She's just going to ice it at this point, making sure it goes free and clear. Natalie with the battle, as she tried to tie it up, but Cape Breton's going to come clear with it. She's probably going to have to go for a change after that rush. Kaylee's out front with her, as Noelle's gotten her stick on that a couple times. Nope, that's Andre Ann. I don't know why I'm not seeing the D right now, but anyway. Sophie icing that out to the other end, so we still have 38 seconds to kill. And Cape Breton having a little bit of a, why'd you hold that? What are you doing? And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to have a face-off in the offensive zone is what's going to happen. And some of the girls did not agree with that, but our girls put the pressure on it, made her do it, so. Yeah. Okay. 35 left on this penalty kill. That's Molly going behind the net, forcing their D to make passes back and forth, killing a bit more that time. Brooklyn stepped in. They passed it over her stick. And now in our end, we go into our box formation, keeping the passing out to the outside, as Cape Breton has possession. Hits some metal. That was a close one. Bailey had her glove up there, and now we're even, so the icing was a little late. So it comes back in, but we're even. Ryan, Paige, and Isla with Noelle and Gwyneth. As our 5 players on the ice. Isla Parrott making a rush for that as Ryan collects it at the board, supported by Paige. She brings it back, feeling that pressure. She's trying to pivot, but Cape Breton's driving it in deeper. Noelle behind the net. Hit the skate of Gwyneth, so it goes out where Noelle took it into the neutral zone. Cape Breton sending it in deep again. Isla Parrott chipping it up to, Paige chipping it up to Isla Parrott, and then it comes back for Noelle. Chipping it up to Parrott again. Gwyneth calling for it. She gets the pass. She chips it. Still has control of it, passes it over to Ryan. Takes a shot with a beautiful bar down goal. Woo! Tied it up 1-1, 13-12 left. Woo! That's the setup that we're looking for. Communication, they were talking, passing, and shooting. Metro West has some life again. But a lot of game left. Natalie taking the face off. Stuck at the circle. Kaylee stepping forward, but Cape Breton with it on their stick. Isla and Eddie not letting it get past her. So it gets moved into the middle. Carver intercepting that. Natalie collecting it, sending it in deep. She keeps on that. She's looking for the play, gets it to Kira. Kira sends it behind the net. Isla pinching in. Goes to the middle, lots of Cape Breton players. So they're able to get it in the neutral zone. Now there's a race for the puck. Isla might be called for a holding there as the player was hauled down. Interference, okay. Ryan won that to Andrea, and she tried to clear it, but it gets kept in at the point. This time goes to the other point, blocked by Cape Breton. Trying to find space to get this puck cleared out of our end. Instead, their D drives it in wide behind the net. They're trying to set something up. Shot goes wide. Sophie intercepted that. Kept to the outside. Blocked again, another shot, and that went in just up under the bar. Lots of game left to tie this up again, 11:49. All right, Metro West getting that face-off win from Molly. And icing. Comes back into our end. It's Paige and Noelle on D with Sawyer, Molly, and Brooklyn. Cape Breton getting that back to their point. They drive it in low behind our net for Noelle to get. She rims it around to Sawyer, moves out to the middle. Cape Breton put a challenge on that. And now Molly taking it into the neutral zone. Goes into the offense. Molly hard there on the forecheck, trying to get that back as Brooklyn's able to help support and collect that in the corner. Cape Breton with it there. Paige stepped in. Cape Breton all alone there in that corner. They send it to the other side. Brooklyn and Ryan coming in, along with Gwyneth, who's meeting them at the neutral zone, forcing them to take it in deep. Cape Breton went for a change. Noelle over to Parrott. Into neutral, that's offside, thank you. Okay, Ryan's line taking the face off here. Eddie and Carver on D. Gets back to Carver. She's trying to find space for herself. Sends it over to Eddie. Nice pass up to LeBlanc, but Cape Breton was anticipating that. They bring it in, but not before being offside. So another redo at the neutral line. Same girls. Neither team went for a change there, as that was a quick little play. Cape Breton getting it this time in the neutral zone. They skated in, take a shot that goes wide, rimmed around where the Parrots at the boards. Supported by Eddie and Ryan going behind the net. Eddie getting that. Going for a skate. She's under pressure, gets it in the neutral zone where Ryan was, but not before Cape Breton's able to scoop that up. Gwyneth getting it back, chipping it around. Icing waved off as Gwyneth beat the Cape Breton player. Oh, Isla was there for the pass, but not quite getting it. I see a stick on the ground. I don't know if it was dropped. Hopefully nobody broke a stick. Isla tips it in before going off for a change as Natalie's out and the rest of her line come out. Kaylee and M trying to tap, and they snuck another goal past them. 3-1 Cape Breton, 9:22 left. We've got to pick it up if we're going to tie this up. All right, Natalie pushing that up to Kaylee. Natalie and Kaylee with it on their stick. A lot of traffic from Cape Breton. Natalie's still coming out with it, takes it back to Andrea-Ann at the point. She sends it over to Sophie. She shoots it, but there's a forward right in front of her, so that gets bounced back and on their stick and gets sent in deep. Andrea-Ann rimming it around where M is. M tapping it forward onto that defense. Guarding the blue line. Kaylee has it. She's going for a skate. She chips it, gets around, collecting it behind their net. Natalie comes out with it. Out front for Brooklyn, tried a shot on her backhand. Oh, Natalie's, is that Natalie? Who is that? Or Kaylee? Somebody's hurt in the corner. I didn't see what happened, but the play continued, but she's got her hand on her face guard. She's on her knees. She's on her feet. The refs are talking. Nobody saw it. They're like, I didn't see it.
The way her helmet is?
Maybe the board hit the chin, or did a stick come out? Who knows? I didn't see it. We'll see what happens. She's got her hand on her chin. She didn't take her helmet off, so maybe she just needs a breather. She's there with Coach James. We'll see what happens in the next few shifts. All right, now we have Sawyer with the puck. In our end, on our boards, a little space. Cape Breton narrows that gap, though. And she lost her space before she get that puck out. Paige tapping it up, goes out. Cape Breton driving it in deep. Noelle sending it in deep this time, looking for the forwards to come in. One was on a change as we see Ryan come in. All right, Sawyer going for a skate. She brings it in. She's got two players on her tail, so Cape Breton's able to intercept that with the two of them on one. It gets sent out. Our girls are going for a change, so the rest of Ryan's line's going to come out to join her. Kira tapping it out to the middle where Gwyneth was. And it gets chipped back up to Gwyneth as she skates it in. She goes around, collecting it behind the net, looking for a place to pass it. Gets kept in with Isla Eddy, saved by the goalie. It's a nice hard shot from the point. Battle at the boards gets sent out and around. Pass from Isla up to Gwyneth. Knocked off her stick, so Cape Breton has it. Gwyneth knocked it off her stick, but not before sending it in the neutral zone, so... Oh good, we see Kaylee on the ice, so she just needed a breather. That's good to see. That's her here on the boards near us. Natalie with 3 girls on her, so offside for the Cape Breton team. They came back in quickly. They're offside, but maybe it's icing, maybe it's something else. I don't know what they're calling, but they, I don't know. Didn't look like icing. I was just offside. Even though maybe she touched it, I couldn't see. Okay, Kaylee has it. And now Ryan put her offside. Again, these are just close ones, but we're calling every single one. Ryan, Kaylee, and Em here. Cape Breton defense have it. Pass to the other D. They move it up to the forward. Gets it over. Sophie passes up to Kaylee. Andre M winning the race to the puck in the corner. She chips it up to Kaylee. Nice pass over to Ryan. Bounces off her stick. Cape Breton gets to it first. Sophie keeping that shot out to the side. Ends up going back to the D with a longer shot, and Bailey making that glove save. 5 minutes even. We're down by 2, so we got to put the pressure on. Turn it on. Molly getting that, frozen at the line, and Sawyer's able to pinch in from the side, getting that. Her and Gwyneth. Trying hard to keep that in. Cape Breton skates it to the red line and then takes it in deep while chipping it over to Paige. Gwyneth's calling for it. Had a Cape Breton player in front of her, so that was intercepted. That shot goes wide on the other board. Ryan's just coming on. Sawyer chipping it out. Play it, and then under pressure there. Okay. Isla up to Natalie. She skates it in. She's got 4 players on her. Again, shooting them at their shin pads, but she keeps it hard up in our end. Eddie with the shot. Pad save. Gets deflected over. Carver pinching in. Up for Ryan to get. Natalie on the boards along with Ryan. M trying to come out with it. Natalie tapping it to Isla. Drives it in deep for M to go get. Cape Breton happy to just freeze the clock here as there's 3 minutes left and they're on the 2-goal lead. Cape Breton finding space on this side. Kira keeping it in. Ollie hard on that, trying to get a shot out. Again, their players are blocking them and they're just not seeing their goalie. Kira guarding that blue line very well this shift. Gets up to Brooklyn. She got pinched in at the board, so Molly's able to collect. Oh, a nice goal, nice shot, sorry. But no goal as it gets under the pads. Isla trying to reset here to the other Isla, who sends it back up. Cape Breton icing that, so we'll see a change unless it, yeah, that should be icing. Okay, 2:07 left. That's a goal a minute. It's gonna be tough because we haven't done it in the first 40. Woo! Nice! Beautifully laid out pass from the Cape Breton to Ryan. She gets a shot off. All right, Kaylee taking this face off with Ryan and Gwyneth. Sophie taking a wide shot, bounced over. Ryan with the rebound. Sophie taking it in. Cape Breton in the neutral zone. They send it deep. Andreanne chipping it up. They collect it at the blue line. And we're going to go on a penalty kill now. Blow the whistle. Thank you. Hello. She did land head first, eh? Yeah. Cape Breton player holding her head, but she is getting up. Well, that was on Ryan. It was hard to tell. There were two of them there at the boards. They're yelling overload a million times. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm guessing it's just keep it in this end is what they need to do to win this game because there's only 1:15 left and we are in a 2-goal deficit on a penalty kill. I also have to look because I keep hearing Natalie's name and I'm pretty sure there must be someone on their team with that name because it freaks me out. Good save, Bailey. Nope. There's not. I don't know what they're saying. Maybe Ellie? There's two Ellies. That might be what I'm hearing.
Maybe.
All right. "29 seconds left as Cape Breton still controlling the play here in our end on this penalty kill. I mean, it's a very good penalty kill. We just need to be more in offensive position. unfortunately, as we see the clock count down from 10. That'll do it as Cape Breton coming out. Took a shot at her own player at the whistle. So, yeah, so we'll see if we can come back on the other side of things and have a split weekend. That's all we can hope for this weekend. And maybe go Canada Go tonight at the U18 Junior Female Championship game that we're going to against Switzerland. We'll see you tomorrow.